Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're hopping into the new single match that has arrived over here on the global side of the game, taking on the TC Master event. Now, I did have a lot of people say that this particular fight was quite tricky, so I thought I'd put together a team for each color to take down this actual event, and lo and behold, this is actually a pretty tough fight. They've actually done pretty well with this Master Challenge, and if you are struggling with this, don't stress, because it is fairly tricky, but let's hop into today's fight. And let's start it off with the strength team. Alright, so shout out to Jin. He's the one that actually put this strength team together. He actually put it together around the time of Kaido's release. So it didn't really have the whole Versakainu and Magellan situation. Lucky for us, we're not coming up against Versakainu. If Versakainu was on this team too, this would be actually like near impossible. For the strength team anyway, because Akainu just absolutely destroys it. Now, this particular team I do not recommend running. You are going to need a lot of good RNG to actually get the W here. You want to make sure that Jack actually gets his special off before the 70-second mark. You really want to make sure Ace doesn't get his special off, but as you can see, Ace is actually going to pop his special off right now. But lucky for us, we are going to take a shot from Kaido first, which actually means that Ace is going to do a lot more damage. Ideally, you want those 2 shots from Ace, otherwise, you're really not going to be outputting that much damage. We do lose Sanji, which is kind of a shame, because Sanji's actually got a fairly decent special, but we do get Karku coming in, and Karku is another really, really good shout for the front lines, as he can do a lot of damage, as the first bench unit, as he does a lot of damage, and can give our team a little bit of a buff. Now, we did manage to take out Magellan as well, not Magellan, Kuzan as well as Stussy, which is really, really good. And then should be able to get some more defense back with Jack, and hopefully output a lot of damage here with our Karku special. Alright, so we managed to take out Shiryu, which is great, because Shiryu can do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, Nami in the back does give a lot of healing. And then they have Whitebeard, who's coming in with basically his special ready to go, which is very, very scary. Like, very, very scary when that Whitebeard gets his special off. And unfortunately, it's looking like it's going to happen now. Of course, he goes for Ace. Okay, Ace managed to survive, which is awesome, because Ace can now pop off his special once again and just do some crazy stuff like that. Lucky for us, we did get some good RNG here, and we managed to actually take this particular fight down, but like I said, I do not recommend running strength against Quick. It's just obviously not the best matchup. It can be done, as you can see here, but it's something that I would definitely not recommend doing. Let's move on to Int now. Alright, so moving on to Int, we are using the Halloween Slashers, Moria, and the Dofi comp. So the Driven Slasher combination with Dofi, as well as Jozu in the front, to give us a little bit of extra HP, some fixed damage, which is nice, and that way we can actually run Enel as well as Sober Mask on the bench. Enel's really, really good as your first bench slot, as Enel's passive is really, really good, provided you only have I think it's like 5 teammates or less, I think it is, or it might be 6, I think it's 6 crewmates or less. He can do a lot of damage and give a lot of rainbow defense up, which is really, really cool. And with him as our first bench slot, we can actually sort of clutch the back end of a fight. Unfortunately, we're going to take some special blinding here, so our Shanks is actually going to lose out on getting his special early. Josu's going to take the front shot of that Magellan special, and Josu's looking like he's in a bad space. Unfortunately, we lose Josu, which isn't the end of the world, because now we actually have Enel coming in. Now, Enel's going to come in with his special, which is great, and we get Enel's amazing passive, which is also very, very nice. But we need to start popping off some specials. So Moria is going to reduce some stats here. Lucky for us, we actually get Kaido, which is going to reduce his attack by half, which means that we're going to take a lot less damage there. We are going to get some action binding going off, and unfortunately, we haven't had Law popping off yet. Now, with the quick team, Magellan and Kaido are both immune to special bind, but Law can do a lot of damage anyway. He gives a lot of speed as well, which makes him really, really good for this particular team as well. Enel's going to give us some rainbow defense up, and some guard, which is great, and at this point, we're pretty much good. So the Int team is still very, very strong. With the addition of Moria, it can do some really, really good things, but it still does need the boy Dofi, or 6+ Dofi in the center, to sort of hold the team together and sort of tank out those big, high-ended shots. At this point, the enemy is just basically just stalling out, just sort of doing whatever it can to survive, but we've got all our specials back. They don't have much HP, and with that, it's just going to be absolute GG. Alright, so finishing off with Moria there, that was the Int team getting it done fairly comfortably. The Int team doesn't have too many issues. I do think the Int team is probably like somewhere around the Psy team. I think Psy and Int are very interchangeable, but nevertheless, it's still very, very strong. Alright, so moving on to Dex now, the natural counter of Quick, but the problem with Dex is it's probably the weakest of the colors. Now, it can definitely work, namely when you are running stuff like Zoro and Sobermask on the bench to sort of get their back-ended damage popping off and sort of clutching the fight towards the end of the time frame. But Dex obviously have a lot of natural counters for Quick, namely stuff like Corazon. You have stuff like PvP Frankie, you've also got Legend, Miguel, and V1. They can all nerf Quick very, very well. But the idea of Quick is to build up defense, to build up as much guard and healing as possible to sort of stall fights out. They're not really made as an offensive team. But when we are coming up against Quick, Quick just has so much damage output and a lot of defense down that we actually can start losing some of those units early, just like we lost Corazon there, so we can actually get our big damage dealers like Zoro and Sobermask to actually come in and start outputting damage. Now, ideally, we actually don't want to lose Corazon that quickly, as Corazon can actually give us a lot of defense up and a lot of healing, but the Quick team, man, the Quick team can just output so much damage so fast that it can just sort of kill units before they even get a chance to really show what they can do. We are going to pop our Zoro special off a little bit too early, unfortunately, so we don't get the double shot. But Rayleigh should be able to give us a little bit more defense now, or 50-second mark for Sobermask, which means that he is only going to do one shot. If we get him towards the 40 seconds, he is going to start doing a little bit more damage. Rayleigh's going to do a lot of fixed damage here, which is great, as well as give us a lot of guard and defense. But now we are going to have to worry about something like the Magellan special, unless we get some good RNG here. Oh, nope. So the Magellan special is going to lower our defense again, as well as do a bit of damage. We did lose Rayleigh. Unfortunately, we lose all our defense now, and with that, it's basically going to be GG. But we do have our trump card still. We still do have our Zoro special ready to go. So if we can get Zoro to attack now, like this, this is where the Dex team shines, because we can just do some absolutely absurd things, like blow away the whole team with the Zoro special. We've got Kid to come in here. Kid can actually just do a lot of damage, give us some more defense, and with that, Bob's your uncle. We are hunky-dory. GG. Oh! Uh-oh. 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 Oh, that was clutch. Now, if you guys don't have something like Corazon, you can actually replace Corazon with, like, Komurasaki, the treasure map Komurasaki, and you can also use stuff like PvP Frankie to also nerf the enemy. But that was Dex. Was pretty close, but managed to do it fairly well. Nah, it was pretty close. On to Psy now. Alright, so moving on to Psy now, and in my opinion, Psy and Int sort of hold the title as second best Pirate Rumble teams. Now, Psy didn't really have their moment in the sun, unfortunately, because of Quick's release, with Magellan and then Versakainu coming out basically directly after Enel's release. But Psy is still really, really good. And when we are coming up against driven powerhouse teams, we do have access to something like Wano Law. Now, Wano Law is great because he has a lot of nerfing and he can actually, like, take away paralysis and special seal and all those nasty defects. Any slashes that are on teams as well, we're actually going to get a lot of nerfing thanks to Enel and Rebecca Toy Soldier. And funny enough, Shiryu is actually a slasher, which means we can actually do a lot of damage to Shiryu, as we can reduce his defense by like level 8 defense down, which is just absolutely absurd. So as we'll see here, we're going to get Shiryu down to -10 defense, which is just absolutely wild. So much nerfing capabilities with our Rebecca Toy Soldier, as he is a slasher. Law is also going to nerf driven and powerhouse units. He's going to remove paralysis and stuff like that too. So he's a fantastic unit when we are coming up against these quick variations as well. Enel can give us some healing. Enel's pops his special off a lot. And with Germa doing a lot of fixed damage, we can actually just start taking out their HP, even if they do have a lot of HP and they have a lot of defense as well. Now, as you can see, they basically have no defense now. They're just relying on pure attack, which is what the quick team sort of like revives us around, as once you get to sort of the 50-second mark, normally the match is sort of like wrapped up by then, so they don't really have too much like back-ended like defense up and stuff like that. Lucky for this guy, he is actually using Onami on the bench, which actually can provide a lot of healing, which can sort of swing the tides. Nami gives miss chance as well, which is very, very annoying to deal with. And if you are a JP player and you have had any experience with Int Smoker, you'll understand what I'm talking about, as he is just an absolute nightmare to face, as he can actually just ruin. He can just ruin you, to be honest. Alright, so we've got Enel popping off, giving us some more defense, giving us some more speed, which is great. And then we should be able to get our Germa special to do a bit of fixed damage here. We've got Law to do some more fixed damage as well. That would be great, Law, if you could do that anytime soon. Wow, that Kaido shot hurt. That Kaido shot hurt a lot. Wow, okay, this is interesting. Their back end of their fight actually just, like, totally clutched it for them. And lucky for us, we've got Sober Mask, which is really good, provided he doesn't die before he can get his special off. He's going to die, though. What? Oh, no. Whitebeard didn't even attack. That's weird. Alright, Magellan can get out of here. Then Nami's going to heal. That Nami heal is so damn annoying. We got some real bad RNG this fight, to be honest. But lucky for us, we've got this guy. Sobermask does a lot. His Kaido managed to just avoid all the damage, but nevertheless, we've got Kogara Noland and GG. So, I actually ran this a couple of times with Sai and had no issues. I actually beat it 3 times consecutively with the same team. And that was the closest I ever got to losing. So, lucky for us, the bench remains strong and manages to take out the Quick team. But, like I said, man, Quick is just absolutely nuts. Let's move on to the final fight now, utilizing our own Quick team. Alright, so time for Quick versus Quick. And as you guys are probably well aware, I do believe Quick is sort of the pinnacle of Rumble at the moment. It's very, very hard to take down. It's definitely doable, but you sort of have to build the team around taking it down specifically, and then it's just kind of like, why bother, right? Just hit refresh and find another team that you can clap a lot easier. But with our team, we do have Shiryu, Akainu, Magellan, and Kaido, as well as Tessero. I really enjoy Tessero. He will be replaced with the Super Type Luffy when the Onigashima Trio come out in like a month's time. But for the meantime, he can give a lot of defense. He can do fixed damage. He gives a special cooldown charge. So he's just such a phenomenal unit to have in the front. But Quick have so much access to free-to-play units. You've got Bellamy. You've got Queen, Treasure Map Queen. You've also got Invinkov, the free-to-play Clash unit. And then you've also got stuff like Pirate Rumble Lucy, which is really, really good options as well. So, Quick has so much going for it that even free-to-play, it's still very, very strong. And it's obviously had a lot of legends come out lately that just make it so ridiculously powerful. So, as you can see, Kaido's just like, yo, get out of the game, get out of this fight, and that's basically going to wrap it up. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me. And if you are new to the channel and you're enjoying the OPTC content, make sure to smash that subscribe button too. And if you're already a bloody legend that's already subscribed and want to support your boy even more, hit that juicy join button. But like I said, guys, most importantly, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. As always, guys, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Lights!